Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. When I go online, I always got to make sure that my volumes are working. But I have a plate of food here that I cannot wait to share. It's jerk ribs that hubby cooked. And I'm just now going to eat because my timing is off. I am, sorry, just trying to fix some things. My timing is like, it's not off. I mean, it's my norm. It's like I'm hungry because this time of morning, this is like 2 o'clock to everybody in the morning. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. But for me, this is like lunchtime to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't hungry earlier. I'm starving now, and I want to try my hubby's jerk ribs. I would be crazy not to try those ribs he's been working on. That would be, I'll be out of my ever last living mind. So, of course, you know me. This is 2 o'clock in the morning here, Texas time. I have vampire hours. Not all the time, but most of the time. I was on live earlier. I was excited to be on live. And I tried my new light that I got. It's on a stand. Got to fix my pillows. And I'm just going to show you everything. I'm going to take a bite. Hubby made jerk ribs. Can y'all see that? Is that not delicious looking? Oh, he's been planning this for a minute. He's been planning this for a minute. And our grandson was watched the replay. My grandson was here earlier. Watched the replay, and I'm gonna take a bite of this right now. This is my first bite. And just to give you an idea, you all know what jerk ribs are. I know I have a lot of my friends from overseas who are chiming in right now. And a lot of them probably don't know. A lot of them probably do. But I'm going to share with you what jerk ribs have. And it's no barbecue sauce. He's got rub seasoning, but it's delicious. It's very spicy, and I love spicy. And I always tell people that and welcome to Rhonda's lovely sparks. We are up late, oh so late. It's 2:30 in the morning. I know you're saying, gosh, Rhonda, you're eating late. And no, this is norm. This is like me eating now is like lunchtime for you all in America. And then shout out to my friends that are around the world. I have a shout out to my Australian friends, and also to everybody around the world, but also Kelly, a shout out to her. She is in Northern Ireland. So this is my first time trying my hubby's food. He has been working on this for a couple of days, the recipe and all that. And so I'm going to, because this is delightfully messy. Do y'all do that? When I eat messy food, Do y'all know I wear a towel across this way? I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't know. It's because if I was a caregiver, if it's an age thing, but I like it. So I got a towel across my chest, and I'm taking a bite of these jerk ribs my husband made. Also, potato salad. See if I can get it where it's not so bright. But this is potato salad. Oh, yum. Homemade potato salad. It's his first ever potato salad and barbecue beans. And so, yes, I'm going to be eating in your ear. Mmm. Mm-mm. Tender. Mmm. There is a spice that he put in there that jumps out at you. And when I say spice, a lot of people don't understand the difference between salty and spicy. There's a difference. Spicy is like, has a kick to it, like maybe a dash of cayenne kick. And it just goes and makes love to all of your palate all around here. And it's a hot, but it's not an uncomfortable hot. I live in Texas. So we know the uncomfortable hots here. It's not an uncomfortable hot. It's a incredible kick. And there's a difference. Salty is uncomfortable for me. Eating something that's too salty is uncomfortable. I'm like, ugh. A lot of people just don't know how to cook with salt and pepper. When you cook with salt, all you need is a dash, a sprinkle, light. You don't need a whole lot of salt. But this is jerk ribs. Mmm. It's so tender. And oh my God. Meg Ryan moment. Y'all, I think this is my first time that I've ever had jerk ribs. This is the first time my husband cooked it. Y'all, this tastes like he's been cooking this forever. It tastes so good. Mm. It's an incredible rub. When he cooked it, it came out like it's not burnt. The rub is dark. You look at it, it might look dark. I mean, it's dark. When you taste it, it's just that jerk rub. You know, jerk is a little dark. It's not burnt. It's jerk rub. Spicy. Good. Oh. I'm drinking a tall glass of Dr. Pepper. Inside is, it's a crushed ice. Y'all ever heard about that Sonic ice at Sonic restaurant? This is that kind of ice. Tall, cold glass. It's cold. Tons of ice piled up high. Dr. Pepper. I don't drink a lot of Dr. Pepper. Just to let you all know. But if I drink it, and this food has, of course, a lot of carbs and sugar in it. And what I do, I know how to manage my sugar. So I make sure I drink lots of water. I'm not cheating. but I prepare myself. This is not something I eat every day or all day. Like yesterday, I had the only thing I ate yesterday. I drank tons of water, but because I sleep all day, and then I have like not this all the time. I have my kefir, but I'll have one of these, and I'll take this with my medicine because you never take medicine with your stomach. Then I drink tons of water. So grandson was here. I had a live today. Mmm, mm. Potato sauce delicious. It's first time he had ever made potato salad from scratch. My husband cooked this like he's been cooking this his whole life. What I'm having here tastes better than the majority of barbecue restaurants here in Texas. Not every barbecue place in Texas is good. Don't believe the hype. Uh-uh. There's certain places you go. Don't be stopping by those weird kind of places on the side of the highway that has these, when you're driving in Texas, these gigantic signs that says barbecue. Don't go there. You don't know what the people cooking. Unless you're locally from there, then that you know who's cooking. But as a tourist, if you don't know nothing about that town, don't you ever stop at these places that says barbecue. You know nothing about it. Come on now. Don't do that. Can we say Texas Chainsaw Massacre? You know, it's a true story happened in Texas. They're saying it was not too far outside of Dallas. Hmm. This man made jerk ribs, homemade potato salad, and barbecue beans. This man cooking like it's Juneteenth. Go ahead, hubby. Mm. He's cooking like it's Juneteenth. I got me a slice of bread. I don't know why. I'm not going to eat it because I'm not a big bread eater anyway. Because again, let me share with you all. I lost 75 pounds. I have more weight to lose, but I lost 75 pounds. And so what that means is that my palate has been trained, even though I'm eating this. It's not like I eat it every day. I don't. It's been a long time since I ate this, something like this. Um, but when I say something like this, I'm being unfair because I've never had anything like this. This is jerk ribs. It has the seasoning on it. It's a dark seasoning. It is full of seasonings and herbs and all that good stuff. It's jam packed. It's like the meat, the seasoning doesn't take away from the meat. The meat, it's ribs. It tastes like ribs. It tastes like you know what you're eating. Now, sometimes you're out there and there's mystery meat. No, you know you're eating ribs. I've never had jerk ribs before. And this seasoning, this rub is on top. Mm. You know, my God, I've never had really rub. You know, that rub that they use. Mm, 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 mm. When you see the cooking shows and they talk about rub. Well, I come from the country. What that means. is that my mother had seasonings. She seasoned her meat. She had her own rub, but it wasn't like they have today. They have like you put the whole thing of rub on the rib, stuff like that. So I grew up just with. She used liquid smoke, and she just rubbed that meat down with that. It wasn't a pack rub, and she would cook with hickory wood. I'm stuck on that today. You can't get me eating using any other kind of wood to smoke my meats, my barbecue meats. Hickory smoke. I'm stuck on that. Not mesquite. Not a fan of mesquite. I don't believe in using cherry wood because I'm like, look, y'all, there's not a lot of cherry trees out there. Don't kill the trees. Save the trees. But hickory. And my dad had this. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to make any sounds. Because when you eat, when you drink, it's like, and I'm not going to do that, y'all. I'd rather turn purple and blue before that ever comes out of me. So, my dad, he used to work for Alcoa, which is Aluminum Company of America. They had one out here. Of course, the headquarters is in Pittsburgh. And they would have these barrels. That's back in the day. And he had a friend there that would use those barrels from the company and make barbecue grills. So my dad had bought this barbecue grill from him, and we used it probably 100 years. That poor thing, we used that so much it probably turned into dust. And it was a barrel. It was a normal size, and it had these little things on it. Today these grills are so fancy. And back then it had like a little door, for the bottom to regulate the air flow, the smoke flow, the heat flow. It had like a little chimney thing, coming out at top of it. It was just very it was very he was very focused. He knew how to build a grill. And this is a person who built grills from back in the day. I'm talking about this was back in the 70s. And I know a lot of you all weren't even born yet, but back in the 70s. And it had these little gadgets on it that he made himself. He was a welder and he made it himself. He cut the tin and metal or whatever and did this and did that. It wasn't nothing fancy like Walmart has. And so I remember my whole life using that grill when I was a little girl. And my daddy would buy he had this thing, right, where he'd buy like a bag of charcoal briskets. Not wood. It was like, the charcoal little black things as a starter. He had just this perfection way of loading wood on there. And then he had a little starter, whatever, to come on top of that. And then he piled his hickory wood. He had certain different sizes and small sizes, perfect sizes for the grill. And he'd stack it real neat, like a teepee inside the grill. And he had probably looked like a little bit of a, what do you call that stuff? It's not gasoline. Just, I'm tired, but at the same time, you know what I'm talking about. Starter liquid fluid, whatever. Barbecue liquid fluid. So you put it on the thing, and he would have those coals just so perfectly hot. Because they had a deal. My parents had a deal, right? It was like mom would cook the barbecue, she would season it and get it ready, and dad will set the grill. He would get the grill ready for her. They had a deal. He'd get the wood and he'd set it all up for mama to cook, and he'd make sure the rack was clean and the rack was on there, and the thing that you put on top, you put the wood on top to cook it. And it was one of those old-fashioned things that was put on there that people used in manufacturing companies. A guy just cut it like a little mesh metal that has holes in it, little X's in it. put it on top. So it was old-fashioned way. It wasn't like that fancy smancy stuff they have. And he'd get it started. And I remember my mother, boy, she'd be in there and she'd rub that meat and she'd have all kinds of seasonings she put on there. And then that's how she cooked it. And trust me, it was good. And in that time, I never saw her marinate, brine, use rub, nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's used today, and our palate has elevated so much. And it's natural and normal today. That is what what we eat today. I mean, that's how people prepare things. It's a lot of people who haven't grown up in the country and haven't had those country ways and influences, and they are cooking some really good barbecue, right? So things have been tested and reinvented and experimented with, and they have a lot of new ways of doing things today. But I was just sharing with you my experience. So I have this ASMR that I'm doing right now. ASMR is me eating jerk barbecue ribs and talking about it. Um, I'm going to do ASMR. And I want to finish eating because these ribs, I can't eat and talk. Um, because it's spicy and I would choke. I'm not an ASMR pro. I'm just eating and I'm going to enjoy this. So I can't talk and eat this because it's spicy, but it's an incredible spicy. So I'm taking another bite. Mm. Hubby has been planning this meal for a couple of days. To be honest with you, I think he's been like planning this for years, actually, because he's always studying recipes. And then he adds his own kick to it. But you know how when you study things, my husband does this, he'll study things for a while. And then when he starts to cook it, it's perfection. It's perfection. It's perfect. So I'm watching TV. This is my lunchtime, which for other people, I mean, it's 2:24 in the morning. But since I'm a content creator, most of the times I stay up all night. And my husband stays up all day. We change shifts. Barbecue beans. Mm. What I like, what he did with this, it's called jerk ribs. Everything that he fixed, from the beans, the potato salad to the jerk ribs, he made for the first time homemade potato salad. Everything he fixes, if you eat it on this plate, everything has ownership of its own flavor. God. You know how we all go out there and we go, you know what? We don't eat everybody's potato salad. I'm like that, except for my husband and my mother. Look how pretty that potato salad is. He used fresh ingredients. Fresh ingredients. I saw him. He's been working on this and prepping this for days. And my husband doesn't want to use one of those machines that chops the onions and bell pepper for you. He'll sit right over there with the table, his sharpened knife, because he keeps his knife sharpened. sharp. He sharpens him himself, and he'll sit there. It's like therapy. And he has like these perfect size chopped bell pepper and onion and celery and pickles or whatever. He perfectly. It's just perfection. Here it goes. I love this potato salad. Mm, 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 mm. This is so good. So we had the meal ready earlier. Um, I wasn't hungry because my clock is off, but around this time I'm eating, and to me it feels like 12 noon, lunchtime. This is so satisfying. Everything on the plate, the jerk ribs, potato salad, and beans, takes ownership of having their own separate flavors. Oh my God. The ribs are so tender. You saw, there's the bone. It just comes off the bone. You know how some ribs I've tasted, sometimes it's too soft and falls off the bone. It's like, well, this takes away the experience from eating a rib, but it's good. The way he cooked this, you have the experience of eating a good rib. I'm not seasoned. I have a bib here. I have an old raggedy ass towel that I keep by myself all the time, all day long. I guess as I get older, I'm going to have things like that around my chair. It's an old raggedy towel. You use a raggedy towel to clean your grandbaby's face. You use it to shoo the cats away. You wipe your mouth and your hands, all purpose. It's a clean towel. Okay. Oh my God. Look at that bone. I'm eating this down to the bone. So, you know what they say? The food, when you have it close to the bone, something about that bone, that meat that's close to the bone is more flavorful and just tender. Here's the gristle. I don't eat the gristle. I don't eat the gristle, but I love the meat around the gristle. It's a whole nother taste and tenderness than the rest of the meat. Mm, mm, mm. Thank you, Lord. Mm, it's good. Wow. This is a mind blower. This is mind blowing. Beans, barbecue beans. Mm. He fixed bush beans. Oh my goodness. And potato salad. My husband says this is the first time he's ever cooked this. And it's true. This food tastes like that he's a chef at his own barbecue restaurant and he's been cooking for 100 years. I'm just telling you. This is my plate. See the bones, see the ribs. I can't eat it all. You know, sometimes we fix our plates and it's like our eyes are bigger than our stomachs. I have one whole rib here that I'm going to save, and I'm going to eat tomorrow. But spicy, spicy good, not spicy uncomfortable. It's just hard to talk when you're eating something that delicious. I am letting you all know to go ahead and join, become a member of Rhonda's Lovely Sparks, and you will get perks. And those perks will include my husband's shopping list. It will include his recipe, directions, instructions, temperature. He has a way of doing things different. Cooking is an art. My Chef Hubby Andre, cooking is an art. Yeah, you could see recipes on there, but hubby has a way. He's been doing this for years as far as studying recipes. He has a way of understanding ingredients and understanding that he could supplement this instead of that, that he could get this to make it better than that. And he knows how to up the levels of the palate. He gives something new to your palate that you've never had before. People go, "Oh, I've had ribs all over the place." Have you ever noticed if you travel, have you ever noticed when you go to a restaurant that never not that all the restaurants are different? None of them are the same. It's like they have their own DNA, right? That's my hubby. He has his own DNA. He's from Paterson, New Jersey. He grew up around the culture there of lots of Italians and diverse culture in New Jersey. And plus, he traveled as a tour bus driver for over 20 something years. East Coast. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm a Texan, a lifelong resident. I have my roots from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana. I have all of that kind of palate. So if you bring together that palate, that Southern palate, and you bring it together with my hubby's Eastern, East Coast palate, it makes a wonderful, exciting party in your mind, in your heart, and in that mouth, that palate. It's a serious party when we come together and we cook. However, Andre has been cooking all year. I have not cooked anything. Chef Andre. He does plan to have his own cooking show, his own cooking channel. I don't know when, but I can tell you now, I'm enjoying everything. Thank y'all so much for tuning into Rhonda's Lovely Sparks. It was delicious. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel. And I will, you become a member. Subscribers will get, one picture. They'll get a picture of the food. But members of my channel will get everything. And plus book reading and a whole lot of other stuff. It's a good investment. Come on down. Thank you for listening. This is Rhonda Lovely Sparks. And I'll see you soon.